To the thinking is contagious. I want to talk about a couple of things. Number one, this morning I started watching the financial news this morning, and I saw where the big headline: Facebook was possibly going to be under investigation for violation, basically, of antitrust. Um, and the stock was down pre-market. I don't know, 2-3%. And I was just chomping at the bit, waiting for the market to open, hoping it would tank about 10% so I could buy a little more into the stock. What I've come to realize is, and this is unbelievable, Facebook has become the Donald Trump of social media. Um, Here's Facebook builds a better mousetrap. Uh, you can like or not like Zuckerberg, what he did, and depictions, the various sides of did he screw somebody over, didn't he? But nonetheless, he's a brilliant businessman, and he took a concept from zero to one of the most powerful vehicles and platforms in the world today, and a true success story. This is the type of thing that in the 40s and the 50s in this country would have been taught in business schools, would have been used as a model. Um, Today, it is vilified. It is torn down, attempted to be torn down. It is accused of having been created through unfair practices and means, unfair competition. And it goes back to what we've talked a lot about, which is it's a lot easier to tear something down than it is to build yourself up. Because it takes a lot of work to build a Facebook. It takes a lot of sweat equity. It takes a lot of risk. It takes a lot of entrepreneurship. It takes a lot of intelligence, stick-to-itiveness, perseverance. Okay? It takes a lot of that. But it's very easy to sit back and say, I want what they have, but I don't want to work for it. And that's what this is all about. And that is very similar. This stance they're taking on Facebook is what they did with Trump, with Russia, with the Ukraine, what they did with the impeachment, with the hearings, with Mueller, with the FBI, with Strzok, with all these people. It's takes someone who has made themselves a success or an entity that has been successful, that you want to be like, but don't want to put the work in, and tear at them and tear them down and bring them down to your level. It's not conducive to anything positive. And that's exactly what's happening here, is that Facebook is being attacked by those who feel they can't compete with them. You know what? Put your big boy pants on. Go out there and try to beat them at their game. That's how America was built. Same thing with Trump. I laugh at this town hall that they had on ABC. First of all, Trump's got a pair on him to go out there on that ABC town hall, and you see it's an audience that's stacked against him. George Stephanopoulos is the moderator. Oh, you'd never see Biden go on Fox News, okay, in the American heartland, and tackle open microphone like Trump does. The guy's fearless. And because he knows he's in the right, that's why he's able to do this. You have people asking him loaded questions. And on top of it, when he answers in a way that Stephanopoulos does not agree with, or feels that Trump may take the conversation in a positive direction for himself, Stephanopoulos jumps in right away and tries to put an if in there and a but in there and contradict him. And it was so blatant. It was so absurd, and Trump was so cool during the whole thing. You know, I criticize him a lot for his inability to communicate, his vulgarness sometimes. But last night, he put on a show. It was him against the world, basically. And if he didn't win, he held his own. And Biden in that situation would have been, they would have had to put a bib on him. So that was pretty telling to me as to what's going on at this point. I also want to talk about a commercial that I keep seeing that Joe Biden keeps repeating, this BS that what Trump said about the troops being losers. You know, I went out when a couple of shows ago, a couple of programs ago, and I said, you know, I didn't like the way Trump answered it, because if you want to say it's not true, just say it's not true. The Bible says knows enough. You don't have to swear. And he went through this whole big elaborate story about why he didn't go to the cemetery, why he didn't go to the ceremony, and this big elaborate story, and to end up saying that it was weather related. And to me, candidly, it sounded like it was too convoluted an explanation, where that is not true would have sufficed, that I had my doubts. I have to eat my words. I now know that what he said was exactly the truth. It's just that it's the Trump way, which is nothing can be said simply. It has to be repeated. It has to be translated Trump style. Because in Bolton's book, and I know I keep going back to this, but you know, I'm in the process of reading it. He 100% confirms, 100% confirms that the only reason Trump did not attend the ceremony at the cemetery was 100% weather related. Their fear of being able to get him helicoptered in and out with the weather conditions, and he being the president of the United States. 100%. That is a Biden Democrat lie. Okay? And they are piggybacking on that. Just like the Bolton book. It was going to be the thing that brought Trump down. Remember? They wanted to hold up the impeachment. Crazy Nancy Pelosi wanted to hold up the impeachment till the book came out. They wanted to subpoena Bolton to come out and talk before the book came out, because they knew they had him. This was the smoking gun. You haven't heard anything about the book, and I told you why. Because the book damns Obama and Biden worse than anyone. Okay? So now, all of a sudden, the book that is the one that's going to sink Trump is the Woodward book. That he mishandled. He downplayed the pandemic. Last night on the town hall, if you listen to it, you understand who Trump is. You see how his mind works and how nothing is simple in his mind. Everything is complex. And he analyzes it from 100 million angles. You realize that, guess what? He really did try to keep the public calm with the pandemic, because what he said is true. My words were to calm, my actions were to attack. He shut down China travel. And who was the first ones to say he was a xenophobe, that he was a racist, that he was anti-China? Who was the first ones to say that? Cuomo, Pelosi, Schumer. Okay? They went on the attack. They went out and said, go to their constituents in the celebrations, the Chinatown, the New Year celebrations in their respective Chinatowns in New York and San Francisco. They told them to go out and celebrate, that this was a non-event. And this was in February, okay, or January or February. Go out and celebrate, this is a non-event. Fauci, before all this hit the fan, was saying that it would not impact the United States severely. So Trump was acting on information that he had, and his actions were to be exceedingly cautious and shut down travel from where the virus originated. So you have more proof there. Finally, and this is something that the Democrats have to be shaking in their boots, okay, at this point, is the ongoing investigation and the Senator Ron Johnson investigation report, where he is about to release his findings on the Bidens and their pay for play. Burisma, Hunter's $83,000 a month stipend or salary for being on the board of Burisma in an industry he had no experience in. Joe Biden, and it's funny because the Biden spokesperson, Andrew Bates, he justifies, I don't know if you saw that interview where Biden's there bragging about how he told the Ukrainians, looking at his watch, if you don't do this by this time, I'm taking $1 billion off the table and I'm gone. And he's smirking and showing how he's the big macho guy. Like when he said he was going to beat up Trump, remember? If I was in high school, I'd beat him up. This is the guy we're talking about. He's a mental moron. He's not a moron. He's just not all there. He's a sick man. Sorry, I have to take that back. He's an ill man. And his spokesperson says Joe Biden's public boasting of forcing the firing of a Ukrainian prosecutor, Viktor Shokin, in exchange for $1 billion in loan guarantees to an investigation of the Hunter Biden employer, Burisma. With Biden, it's a boast. With Trump, it's anarchy. It's overthrow of it's dictatorship. It's overthrow of the government. It's so fake. Anyway, finally, I keep saying thinking is contagious, and the liberals are working on a shot, an injection to help prevent its spread. You can look on my program. I had a comment from a Biden supporter, Miss Ann Bouchard, I believe her name is. Take a look at her comment. It's a Biden supporter. It's a comment that needs no further explanation. It exemplifies the tolerance and the inclusiveness, the kindness of the left. It exemplifies their willingness to debate issues with facts. It exemplifies that the left is definitely, not exemplifies, but it proves to me that the left has not only started working on the vaccine, but they're actually using people now. They're actually testing the vaccine out on people to prevent thinking. When you read comments like this, you realize that vaccine is in experimental stages, and it's been administered already, probably to a lot of people. I hope that some of this strikes home, and I welcome comments, pro and con, but what I really do appreciate is let's get that subscription rate up. Let's get it to past 100, and let's start working on the first 1,000. Appreciate your support, appreciate your help, and look forward to speaking to you again in the very near future. Have a good day.